Dr. Peterson?
Yeah,
I just want to frame it a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
When we had our call, you talked about the need for allies.
Mm-hmm.
In addition to what you were going to say, talk to us about what the profile of an ally is. Who is an ally?
So, and this is an important question for movement building in the 21st century, because and this is directly related to the Pearl S. Buck quote too, because what you realize is that sometimes folks in the allied movements have blinders on as well, and so what we have to try to figure out is how to best strategically position ourselves as allies. And I think that you can look to the history to understand how that works. And so for the LGBTQIA community, it's great for like straight folks to be allies, because sometimes straight folks can hear it better from straight folks. On the war against sexual assault, particularly on like college campuses, we need like our male athletes and we need male students to step into that fray, because it's about actually dealing with some of the male problems about how men are socialized, about how masculinity is constructed. And so allies have to be honest about their own blind spots to actually be helpful and useful in whatever particular movements that they are in. To Pearl S. Buck's particular quote here, I mean, it's a hard one for me to stomach, because if you look at the history of the Universal Negro Improvement Association, it certainly was reaching well beyond the shores of the U.S. to try to not universalize, but certainly expand the tent within which civil rights could be discussed. And then when you look, it's interesting because that's a great clarion call in 1942, because certainly beyond the 1940s, you see a lot of black movements looking to link arms in Asia, looking to link arms. In fact, you could argue that even in the 1930s, the Communist Party, particularly the Black Communist Party, was already looking towards Asia in terms of trying to build things. I think what happens is that when those alliances are made, excuse me, when those global alliances are made, and they're being made right now by even the Black Lives Matter movement, when those alliances are made, they are very threatening to power. You know, when black folks start quoting Mao, that scared the mess out of Americans. It did. It did. You know, even when Wu-Tang did it, however many years later, 1993, it scares America. And so, unfortunately, the alliances that become more global are more of a threat to powers that be, and they are stomped out. If you look at what they did to the Universal Negro Improvement Association, look what they did to Pan-African movements, look at what they did to Nkrumah. I mean, the history is in place for black activists working across race and across region to build the movements up. But if you look, it's a scary history to look at, though, because if you start to see those points where things actually started to come together across oceans, those things were very effectively stamped out by the powers that be.